My name is Harrison Graham, and today's episode of Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. Father's Day is almost here, and a great present is really any of the products from Manscaped. Use code BEARS20, get 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. That link and promo code in the description of this video. All right, let's get into today's Bears rumors roundup. Could Chicago trade for Randy Gregory? Randy Gregory, the veteran edge rusher who former second-round pick, he's kind of have a tumultuous career. One Smokin Jay. Small shred of truth. It could happen. It's barely true, pun on words there, but I don't think it's very likely whatsoever. Sports Mockery cooked this one up and did make an interesting point that he could be a post-June 1 trade target because Denver can save, I think, like $14 million if they cut or trade him after June 1st. Now, Gregory only played in 6 games last year, dealt with some injuries, had a couple of sacks. And if he is traded, if the Bears were to absorb him, his cap hit this year would be $14 million, but he virtually has no guaranteed money after this season. So any team that would be interested in trading for him, you could kind of just take it as a flyer, right? If it works out, cool, you have him under contract for, I think, 3 more years. If not, no guaranteed money, you can easily move on. I'll be honest, though, I'm pretty lukewarm on this idea. Of all the edge rusher, like, trade ideas, free agent proposals that, have been circulating around this team, this one's near the bottom. And it's not because Randy Gregory's not a decent player. He is. He's just not that reliable for a variety of reasons. Since he's been in the league, 2015 second-round pick, he played in 12 games as a rookie, 2 games in his second year, 0 games in his third year, 14 and 18, which is a career high, 0 in 19, just 10 in 2020, 12 in 21, and 6 in 2022. So even when he hasn't had off-the-field trouble, he had a weed problem when that was a bigger deal in the NFL. So, that part of it isn't a problem anymore because the NFL has kind of loosened up on that. But still, even when that hasn't been a concern, last year, played in 6 games, year before, 10 games. So, look, he would certainly help out this edge position, but I just think there's other guys that make more sense, especially considering you would probably have to trade for him unless the Broncos surprisingly cut him. Here's the bottom line. Randy Gregory is a talented player. He has been since his college days at Nebraska. That's why Jerry Jones and the Cowboys threw a second-round pick at him, even though he had some red flags coming out of college. But he's been unreliable his whole career. Off-the-field questions, injury problems. And on top of all of that, while he's talented, it's not like this is a guy who's had 10-plus sack seasons. The most he's had in a year is 6. Like, that's not worth, bringing on $14 million and a cap hit. Like, look, if he got cut and you want to sign him for $5 million, yeah, I would do it. But trading for him to have a $14 million cap hit, even though you can absorb that, I think you can go in a different direction with a number of free agents, to be quite frank. Now, in terms of if they were to consider it, the draft picks you have, I mean, if Denver was actually shopping them, if I'm Chicago, I'd be like, okay, what, 6th-round pick? And Denver eat some of the money or something like that. But again, I just don't think it's very likely whatsoever, which is why at the end of the day, I don't think Randy Gregory's that realistic. But maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you want Randy Gregory in Chicago. Would you trade for the veteran edge rusher? Type T for trade or P for pass. Let me know. Would you trade for Randy Gregory or not? Next up, Bears roster. Is it not finalized? Are more moves coming? I think so. For Smokin Jays, bear down. I quite frankly expect at least something to happen. And based on what Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus continue to say openly, I think it's for Smokin Jays. It's going to happen. Daniel Greenberg kind of concising this up is Matt Eberflus told former Bears coach Dave Wanstead on the 33rd team that the Bears are working on extending some of their players. He also added that they're looking at the possibility of signing some free agents. So let's talk about that first part first. These 4 players are notable extension-eligible players. Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, Jaylon Johnson, Cole Kmet. There's other guys like technically Kendall Vildor is someone who could get an extension, or like Eddie Jackson or someone like that. But I don't think those are players that really are in the realm of making sense for an extension right now. These 4 guys could be, though, as they're entering the final year of their rookie contracts. And quite frankly, I bet 2 to 3 of them get extended before week 1. I really do. Ryan Poles has mentioned it. Matt Eberflus has mentioned it. I really do think that's a possibility. We'll expand on that in just a moment. But keep an eye on that as we expand, or I should say get closer to training camp in July. Now, guys, fellas, Father's Day is just around the corner, and Manscaped's the perfect present. Look, when I was growing up and even in my young adult days, I never knew what the hell to get my dad on Father's Day. I would always just get him a book or like some golf stuff or something like that. Well, get him something tangible. My dad's become a beard guy the last couple of years, and the beard hedger from Manscaped is the perfect present. I gave myself a nice trim in the last week or so with the beard hedger. Goodbye to multiple guards. It's got a 20 rotary device built in to the beard hedger. If you get the pro kit with all the attachments as well, you get the shampoo, the conditioner, the beard balm, the scissors, the comb. It's absolutely fantastic. It all comes together in one kit, in one nice box, easy to travel with as well. You can use the shaver, the beard hedger, in the shower as well. It's water resistant, easy to charge, good battery life as well. Go check out Manscaped. The beard hedger is a perfect gift for your pops this Father's Day. And if he's not a beard guy, go check out their other products, the lawnmower, the weed whacker. The weed whacker is a nose and ear hair trimmer, and the older you get, the more nose and ear hairs you have. Trust me, I'm already growing them. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. That link in the comments and in the description. Get going with Manscaped before this Father's Day. Now, Darnell Mooney recently had this to say on a potential extension, talking to the St. Brown brothers. They've got their little podcast, Equanimous and Amon Ra, saying, I feel good about it, though. They want me to see me run and stuff after ankle surgery, so we'll see. I'm in no rush. I am running. I am cutting. I started cutting today, so I'll be 100%. I got screws in my foot, so I'll be a little robotic, you know. Probably 1,000 times better than I was. That would be nice. If he was 1,000 times better than he was, he'd be the greatest receiver of all time because he's pretty damn good already. But, yeah, I think when it comes to Mooney specifically, I do think the Bears like him. But anytime coming off a major injury, they're going to want to see him move around a little bit. So I think that one could take a little bit longer time. I'm real curious, though, out of these four players, kind of what the pecking order is in the Bears' mind. Now, they may have an idea of who they want to extend first, and maybe negotiations don't go as fast, so it's hard to know for sure. But if you had to pick one of these four to extend right now, like if you were forced to pick one and let the other three go, who you picking? Type DM for Darnell Mooney, type CC for Chase Claypool, JJ for Jaylon Johnson, or CK for Cole Kmet. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who would you like to extend first? Now, going back to this note from Flus via Greenberg's tweet here, he also said the second part of it, they're looking at the possibility of signing free agents. So, it's got me thinking, is more talent coming? I've said all along, I expect him to sign some more players at some point, especially an edge rusher, right? Like, I would expect between 1 and 3 additions between now and week 1. We've seen it year after year after year with this franchise. Jason Peters signed here in training camp a couple of years ago. Riley Reef signed right at the start of training camp last year. Like, this franchise has added talent in the past well beyond the month of May. So just because it's May 23rd, 24th, whatever, does not mean that this team is done adding talent. If you're wondering what type of players that could be, I put out a post-NFL draft free agent targets video, so go check that out by subscribing and going to the content tab. We'll probably refresh this soon in the next week or two, kind of new free agent targets following early OTAs here, so be on the lookout for that. But if you want to watch any of our content that we've already put out there, or if you want to just stay in the loop with new videos, go ahead and subscribe. I promise you this, if the Bears sign a player, we will have you covered. So hit that big subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. That way you are always in the loop with the Chicago Bears. Okay, next up here, Velus Jones Jr. Is he in trouble? I don't mean like with the law or something like that, but is he on the hot seat a little bit? I go with 3 Smokin Jays. Like, the news from Monday in terms of the NFL kickoff rule that they passed, I don't think that's great news for Velus Jones Jr., especially considering the year he had last year. If you missed the news, here it is. Tom Pelissero breaking it down pretty easily here. NFL owners approved the resolution, putting the ball on the 25-yard line following a fair catch on kickoff, I'm told. That's been the college rule for a few years now, by the way. Special teams coordinators unanimously opposed the change, but it is happening. Talk about just not listening to your league if you are owners. I will say this, though. Bad news for return specialists, in my opinion, because I think you're going to see a lot more fair catches. Now, I did find it interesting. Matt Eberflus said He actually thinks it could increase the returns because there might be more squib kicks, more kind of line drive kicks where the ball bounces around and you're not able to get a fair catch. We'll see on that, but I think on a lot of kicks that go deep, like high kicks that land inside the 10, a lot of teams are just going to instruct their returners just call fair catch, and I think that could be the case. Now, Velus Jones is a really good kickoff return specialist, so he might still have the freedom to just bring it out a decent amount, but it's not ideal when having a big-time return specialist loses value with this rule because there's no doubt. So could he be in trouble? Well, more fair catches on kickoffs. That means his explosive ability has less value as a kickoff returner. He struggled as a receiver in 2022. That's not good for him either. When you look at the numbers from this last year, only had 7 catches, was used on some jet sweeps and stuff, showed some explosiveness, and then those 3 fumbles all came on punts. 3 muffed punts, struggled as a punt returner. So if he doesn't improve in that area and get back to being someone they think they can rely on as a punt returner, and then if the Bears end up being a team that just calls a lot of fair catches on kickoff returns, and he doesn't take a proper step as a receiver, what's his value at that point? It's not great news for Velus Jones. He better improve as a receiver and as a punt returner. I will just say that. Now, is Velus Jones on the hot seat? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. I don't think it's scalding hot, but it was already at least lukewarm, if not a little bit warm, following a poor rookie season. I think that seat's heating up a little bit with this rule. Y for yes, in for no. Let me know what you guys think when it comes to Velus Jones.